Hi everyone, and welcome to Infinite Nerdatory with your hosts Stella Flagella
and Sonderman. Before we begin, these are our opinions and you're welcome to disagree with us. Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Throughout this video, we will be comparing A Way Out to The Last of Us. And while we understand that is like comparing Justice League to the Avengers,
I understood that reference.
this is simply to show with a concrete example how this game could have been done better in our eyes. Let's get this review started!
Today we want to talk about a little game called A Way Out. This game is from the creators of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, which has gotten great reviews from critics and gamers alike, but which neither of us have played. A Way Out stands out from the crowd, as it features a co-op mode where both players have to be present and playing at all times for the story to unfold.
Without giving too much away, the game focuses on two prisoners, Vincent and Leo, who initially clash.
Stay the hell away from me, okay?
But find that they have more in common than at first thought and decide to work together to escape from prison. To comment on the positive sides of the game first, A Way Out comes out strong in terms of scenery and music. During an especially good scene in a hospital, the game jumps between the two players instead of being able to play both simultaneously, which keeps both players on their toes, as you never know when the game will jump back to your own character. There are plenty of different terrains to experience, from the murky prison to lush forests. The music fits perfectly to each situation, switching between calm guitar music reminiscent of The Last of Us to a more intense beat, which really gets the blood pumping. While the characters lack the detail and fluid expressions of games based on real actors, this isn't one of the game's more notable weak points.
We also found ourselves enjoying the amount of variation within the game. You can interact with most characters, which comes in handy when trying to work out how to distract guards, or what items could come in use when trying to escape your cell. In every environment, there are also plenty of objects to interact with. These don't directly influence the game, and may even seem like a bit of a waste of time, because that's one of the things about A Way Out. Its gameplay time is only around 6 hours long. Being huge fans of Skyrim, containing hundreds of hours of gameplay, or even The Last of Us or Heavy Rain, which both take a good 10 plus hours to complete, 6 hours was a little on the short side for us. While this game was about half the price of other games released around the same time, at least here in Norway, we expected to be playing it most of Easter, not finishing up after 2 days.
To get more into detail on A Way Out's weaker points, let's first have a look at the action scenes. These are a few and weigh heavily towards the end of the game. We expected that a co-op game would have fight scenes that require a lot of teamwork. After all, there are two of you, so you would think that the game would center around working together. Despite a couple of interesting scenes, including a car chase and a boat, most of the multiplayer aspects focus around opening doors, climbing up onto high places, moving objects, and playing baseball.
Oh yeah, curveball. Good hit.
Sometimes it works.
Excuse me.
What?
I'm freezing. Could I have some extra sheets?
No, it's not gonna happen.
But other times it feels a bit forced.
Another of the more frustrating things about A Way Out is that it offers no changing of the difficulty level, and we found that even if we made stupid choices and just ran at enemies directly, we would mostly be fine and not take too much damage. With a game like The Last of Us, it forces you to make smart, calculated choices, otherwise your character dies pretty quickly. Not being able to change the difficulty setting makes the game less engaging and gives you no real feeling of accomplishment. How many of us haven't played the same sequence over and over again, getting gradually more frustrated as the character dies yet again? There is nothing like the feeling of finally getting past the level and being able to advance in the game, something we never felt when playing A Way Out, because it was just too damn easy.
As for the cinematic element of the game, the cutscenes are way too long and the story falls flat. Apart from a slightly emotional end sequence, the only part of the game where choices mean anything at all, and even then they don't mean much, A Way Out doesn't really have you invested in the characters, and the cutscenes occupy around half of the game. Now, consider The Last of Us. The character development is enormous, with Joel and Ellie first hating each other, before gradually learning to put up with and finally like each other. A Way Out uses the same formula, yet the friendship seems forced and undeserved. The basis is the same. Leo and Vincent dislike each other, but have to cooperate to reach their goals. The starting point could potentially lead to the characters learning more about each other as they are thrown into situations where they have to stand up for one another. As a result of this, their friendship and camaraderie would have grown, and the players would have an emotional attachment to both of the characters and care about their dangerous journey. However, we don't. And the cutscenes are nothing but a drag, because we don't care about the story or the characters in any freaking way. What if each player had dialogue options and could choose what the characters could say to each other? Not only that, but what if what the characters said to each other actually had any consequences as to how their relationship would grow? The cutscenes would be more engaging and the character development would be more interesting. But no, every single character in the game is bland and forgettable, making the game tiresome, despite being only 6 hours long.
One of the features which originally excited us was having the two characters come up with two different plans for the same situation, and having to agree which plan would be more likely to succeed. One choice was always riskier and more aggressive than the other. That tended to be Leo's way. So we figured it was important to pick wisely, as Leo's character was more of a loose cannon than Vincent, who was more reserved. However, the choices didn't seem to have any effect on the outcome. Picking a riskier option always led to the exact same result as the safer choice. This was one of the bigger disappointments of A Way Out, as it meant we didn't need to discuss and make strategies to beat the game. We won no matter what we picked. What if the cops were more aggressive towards you if you took the riskier options every time? Or, depending on which road you took, the news would write about you differently.
We did experience a few bugs, however. Near the end of the game, Leo managed to tackle the bad guy, but he needed Vincent's help in order to succeed. The camera on Vincent's screen, as you can see, kept panning up towards the target, so it was impossible to see where the stairs was. And then we failed. And there was another bug as well. During a scene in the prison, Leo walked in front of Vincent, who was held back by some guards. Vincent was carrying a wrench that he was supposed to pass on to Leo, so the guards couldn't discover it. But Leo got caught between the guard and the boss, so he wasn't able to pick it up. He was stuck.
Good.
So, what's wrong with you?
A Way Out is a game with a lot of potential, but in the end, it's too linear and straightforward. None of your so-called choices matter, and while the gameplay is varied, it's way too easy, too short, and more or less unengaging. The game had no interesting characters or a captivating story, and we found ourselves bored during the unskippable cutscenes with bland people talking in a neutral manner about something we initially couldn't give a rat's ass about.
Sure, A Way Out has a few good parts and it's not awful, but they don't have enough elements to make this game an intriguing multiplayer experience. Some parts heavily demand that you cooperate with your partner, but most of the game is not like that at all. Even the multiplayer aspects sometimes feel forced, as if they were only added to remind you that you need to work together, even when it's not really necessary. Given the fact that this game costs half the price of your average PlayStation 4 game, and will most likely be on sale for even less at some point, it is definitely one we recommend for a lazy Sunday with a friend. It is not a game you will likely remember or want to play again, but enjoyable enough to pass the time.
Remember to hit that subscribe button and give our Facebook page a like to keep yourself up to date on all things nerdy. As soon as we hit 30 subscribers, one of you can be the lucky winner of one of these nerdy giveaways. 100% free. If you're anonymous, remember to send us a message and let us know that you're a subscriber to secure yourself the chance of winning. The fortunate winner can pick between 3 different items. See you later, YouTubers!